What's up, everybody? It's your girl Q1, and I am back with Next Gen NYC. What are you doing in here? It's my dog. Before I start, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video that I drop. Make sure you guys are liking the videos so I can stay in the algorithm of things. Please, that would be great. So here we go, season 1, episode 7, Shore Losers. We have one more episode to the season finale. I didn't realize it was going to be 8 episodes, but I actually like the show. I hope they come out with a season 2. I am going to address the always having to monitor yourself as a black lady, because everybody is always uncomfortable. Yes, Riley was drunk, and we do say things when we tend to be drunk, but we're talking to somebody, we're talking about somebody, when I say somebody, I mean Gia, whose family fight for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay? We're not gonna act like you come from a shiny, good old family. Okay, we not gonna act like your man ain't flip over no table. We not gonna act like your daddy and your uncle was fighting at a christening. We not gonna act like you don't go off on your auntie and your uncle. We not gonna act like your mama called somebody a coke whore or whatever she called her. We're just not gonna act like that. But Riley is rude and Riley is harsh. But she's rude and harsh. But your family is grimy and disgusting. But because you have the same skin tone you have, you feel like you can check Riley, and you won't come in here like you the HBIC. Sit your ass all the way down. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't care who do not like it. I was offended. Was Riley drunk? Yes. But we are out of town. We are on a vacation. Why can't she drink? But you want to hold her to a certain standard, but you coddling this 30-year-old, right? That's what we're doing. We coddling 30-year-olds. And then we gonna get to Georgia funky ass, because you gonna sit there and act like you didn't understand what Riley was giving you the definition of privilege. You know what that means. But you, instead of you directing this to Sha or whomever you needed to direct it to, or if you still mad at Charlie, you want to direct it to Riley. So that's why are you done? That's why you got what you got. And then Ariana pissed me off because you coming downstairs into something and you won't go off on talking about, oh, Riley, man, fuck y'all and y'all undertones. Because the way I would have given them whatever I learned from Mama Joyce on Bertha, rolled up in one. Because this was definitely a scheme that Todd set up. They pissed me off. Y'all act like, because of your skin tone, y'all just prim and proper. But then Gia watched Amira tell Georgia about herself, and you was all for it. And then all of y'all saying y'all confessional how dumb of an idea that Georgia's was. Raleigh just outwardly said it to her face. I'm sorry. Let's talk about how y'all like to play in her face. And the moment she says anything, or the moment you use her being under the influence as a way to weaponize her, that shit pissed me off. Maybe I'm off kilter, but that pissed me off. I gave Gia an opportunity. I really did. I really did. And then Riley even apologized to Gia. Why? I don't damn know. But yeah, yeah. I would have showed y'all fucking angry black girl. Okay? Even though we not supposed to do that. And then Riley was like, well, I feel like we have to walk on eggshells. You know, you feel like you have to walk on eggshells for Riley. Why? Because she black? Because you decided to be male-centered, male-identified when it came to Charlie broke ass. And all of a sudden, you went from telling your mama how Charlie was an asshole and this and that. But it's okay for Charlie. You can take up, the only time you have smoke for Charlie is when he talking to Brooks. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. You want to sit here and act like somebody, mama, if you don't sit your funky ass down. That was my little rant. Hold on. That was my rant. Okay? These comments that y'all continuously make when it comes to the comments that y'all make when it comes to black women. The shit is aggravating because all I know how to do is be a black woman. And not all of us have attitudes. And when we are expressive, just like the rest of y'all, it doesn't make us aggressive as the next woman. I'm just saying. Please stop doing that. That is aggravating to me. Not all of us roll our necks. But the rest of y'all outside of being black are just as aggressive or even more aggressive. Because somebody, I want to say, when it comes to a Latina woman, y'all call them spicy. But we're aggressive. The darker black women are aggressive. When it comes to the white woman, she's emotional. Okay. Like, I do not like all of these shows with all of these. You have all of these different people of the same race. It's the same race, but you have one that's of a darker tone. And the ones that are, what they call it, they don't call it, I forget what they call it, that are brown, I guess, I don't know, but they're not completely black. You only want to be black when it's beneficial to you. That pisses me off too. But most of the time, y'all are of the white adjacent. Anyway, the episode picks up with Ariana and Gia. They're taking up for Charlie. Once again, why? He is non-deserving. As a matter of fact, he really needs to go. Like, I have made up my mind. He can go to another reality show. But this one, no. So we flash back. I want to say it was what's her name? I keep trying to call that girl Elmira. Amira and what's his name? Brooks. They was talking about the seafood from yesterday. They had the pot sitting outside. That's nasty. You roll it up in not toilet paper. Roll it up in newspaper, put it in a bag, and take it out to the dumpster. That is what you do for seafood. Anyway, we find out Chloe left. She went back to NYC. Ava claimed she wasn't coming. Ava didn't want to be there anyway. And at this point, I don't like her either. Because she give me, I'm black, but just not like Riley black. She pisses me off. Okay? She pisses me off. Georgia, after that night, Omar got her and Georgia, him and Georgia, a hotel room. And then the next morning, everybody's asking if Georgia is going to show up. So Riley called Georgia on the phone, and Georgia felt like Omar could have taken up for him. Georgia felt like this, but Omar didn't say a word. He was mute the entire time. Riley was like, that would have been the end of me and him. And so she tells Georgia, like, this is the first time I've seen you have a backbone. And she was proud of her for standing up for herself. Riley did say in her confessional, so now everybody just loves Charlie. Brooks, to me, is a comic relief. He didn't give anything. Brooks never gives anything. Hudson asked Charlie about the comment he made about Ariana. This is another thing I didn't like. Well, because Charlie did say that. He was like, I didn't say I wanted to. What's her name? Ariana. I'm sorry, Ariana. He said, I thought she was hot. You're lying. You absolutely said that. But once again, y'all gonna let this grimy, nasty ass having feet ass white boy, overgrown, rusty, dusty ass white boy, get away with whatever the fuck he want. That's some privilege. Georgia said she talks to Omar about the situation and asks if he's gonna hang out with the friends again, and he said that her and her friends have issues to sort out. Georgia then said her friends told her Omar should have stuck up for her more, and Omar said he would have to have a sidebar with Charlie. This is another thing, how Georgia takes anything somebody says and throw it under the bus instead of saying how the you feel, because that sound like that came from Riley, but she was talking to you from woman to woman. You got this nigga right here and he ain't even standing up for you. And if you really wanted to talk to Charlie, you would have had a conversation with Charlie there about how he told your girlfriend, if I was a man, I would smack the shit out of you. You got me fucked up. Anyway, I don't like Ava. She had a roach in her house. She called, I want to say, maintenance to come and kill a roach. Girl, grow up. Amara and her boyfriend are in the car. Everybody's headed to the beach or whatever, and she was saying something about the sharks. They just whatever. Riley visits Georgia, and Georgia don't know where Omar's money comes from. That's what production asks Georgia. Georgia says she sees softness in Riley. When did you see a tough side of her? Because and why are you saying that? Again, a softness. So you thought she had a hard exterior too. When she told you that it's common courtesy to wash your hands after you wipe your coochie, after you pee. Don't touch me. You can't touch me. Don't touch me. Anyway, Georgia claims she doesn't want to fight with anybody anymore. So Amara tells them about the comment that everybody's riding to the beach or wherever they're going. Tell them about the Ozempic comment that Georgia made. And Amara said that when she was a model, she had a weird relationship with food and her body. And so the comment that Georgia made actually triggered her. Charlie is crass as usual, because he whatever he said, it was stupid and crass. Georgia and Riley arrives, and she fell. Her phone fell in the water. And I already said it. It's just finna piss me off again about Riley. Anyway, Gia acting like she's so embarrassed by Georgia. And I'm just like, Gia, girl, Like Gia and Ariana, Georgia aggravated the entire shit out of me. Ariana is pissing me off because every time, like, Riley started to, everybody, they was all on a little thing, and Riley kept falling. Stop calling us girls. Dear white people, we are not your girl. Dear white adjacent people, we are not your girl. That shit is triggering. Stop calling us girl. Call us by our name. You call your other counterparts girl. You are not us. And the way y'all say it, y'all try to sound like us. That is the other problem I have. I do not. Anyway, Charlie texts Ava just to tell her that you jumped in the water to get Riley's phone. But did you tell her that Riley offered to pay your bum broke ass $1,000 and you was willing to do it? Omar texts Georgia and Charlie texts Georgia and tells her that Omar wants to meet with him. Whatever. We see Riley is visibly lit. Charlie was sitting there smoking weed and on the phone about to call Ava. Why in the entire hell did you not put on socks or wash your fucking feet? Why? And this I'm gonna tell y'all, this review recap is brought to you by the aggressive black lady right now, Kiwan, thus and such, me, the aggressive black lady. Anyway, Ariana said when she gets emotional, she gets aggressive, and then she apologizes to Georgia once again. It's cool when they do it, but when I do it, okay. Shy, whatever his name is, he arrives. Amira said she was invited also to the same event Ava was invited to, but she declined because she felt like, I'm going to fix my schedule to be here for my friend. Georgia, I think Amira is annoyed with Ava. Georgia is talking about her bowling event and all of that. Brooks is in his own head. And in everybody's confessional, everybody thinks that Georgia business is not a good idea. Amira tells Georgia, if you're gonna have your own space or event space, please do not comment on your patrons eating. And then she confronts Georgia about the comment she made towards Amira about the Ozempic comment, and Georgia says, I'm sorry. I think she said, I'm sorry if I offended you, and then went right back into talking about the bowling event. And Shy was like, oh my God. Like, Georgia is in Georgia land. Again, a lot of y'all lack awareness. And that's why you bitches need to be cussed out. Okay? Amira visibly looked aggravated. And even while all of this was going on, when Amira had the conversation with Georgia about the Ozempic comment and all of that, Gia was all for it. Anyway, Riley tells Georgia that her idea was terrible. But then y'all know Riley was on Watch What Happens Live. She wasn't really talking about the event in whole. She was talking about how Georgia is going to be serving food. That's not going to work. So Gia said to Riley not to be nasty. And I'm looking at her like, then you try to use your tone as a way to play in that girl's face. Don't be nasty. The way I would have said, bitch, fuck you. How nasty is that? Sorry, y'all. Anyway, Shy was like, give her constructive criticism. Ariana said it's fine. We all say dumb shit. Riley was like, what the hell that mean? And so Gia said it was rude. Then she said when Riley drinks, she gets rough. You see these buzzwords? Because I would have moved Shy right out of the way and choked the piss out of her. Okay? Riley gets up and leaves. Riley is pissed. Shy go out to talk to her. She feels like with Gia, everything is a double standard, just like her mama. And Gia says she feels like she have to walk on eggshells for Riley because she never know when she's going to say something offensive. Then, bitch, don't say nothing offensive. And if that look like walking on eggshells, then so be it. At this point, Gia would have really got aggressive from me. And I'm going to show you aggressive. So Riley comes in. She apologizes to Gia. She sit down. Everybody do whatever. Then later on, Riley and Georgia are having a conversation. I think Riley apologized. And then Shy was talking about, we're all privileged and blah, blah, blah. And we should be happy. And Georgia got offended. She was like, well, I'm not privileged. I have $4,000 in my account. Privilege is getting $10,000 from your dad. Why are you have these backhanded compliments? I mean, not backhanded compliments, but why are you bringing, again, that's the one thing I do not like about Georgia. Instead of directly talking to the person, you say little snide shit. And you said it about Charlie. Anyway, Riley tells Georgia the definition of privilege. Georgia is willfully choosing not to understand what Riley is saying. Riley is pissed off because you're mad at me. I'm not the one who brought it up. It was Shy who brought it up. And Riley was like, are you dumb? I was like, ooh, girl, no. And so Ariana comes downstairs trying to check Riley, talking about Riley that's, basically telling her, if you're not going to say, Ariana, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Anyway, she said it's not right. And then she goes over there to hug Georgia. Okay, mammy. Whatever. I'm over it. I will be back with the Real Housewives of Miami because these kids piss me off. Bye.